Well, this has been a long awaited video that it's been kind of hard for me to think about making or trying to make, mainly because there's a lot of different things and different topics of why I've been gone for the last year. So I'm going to try my best to just keep it short of what I've dealt with, where I've been, and then where I want to go. So first things first, I want to start off just by saying that I'm sorry. In my eyes, I built a large audience, even though it's just 900 subscribers. And then I kind of just dipped out after a whole year's worth of consistent content with no answer, no explanation. And I'm not only just saying sorry to y'all as fans and friends and people that have watched, but I'm also saying sorry to my past self for, I wouldn't say giving up, but I had such a big goal and such a big want for my past self that it all just halted. But again, once I explain, you'll understand the reason why. Back in September 17th of 2024, I had got a call at 6 a.m. that unfortunately my father had passed away. I processed it as best as I could, and he was sick for a very long time, and we knew that eventually at some point the time would come, and he stuck through it, his illness, for almost 10 years. At the end of the day, we always knew that the time would come. It was just always a matter of when, and that day, September 17th, was that day. And again, like I said, I processed it as best as I could and went through the motions, but I also went through acceptance, because my father left so much good during those last 10 years of his life that I was able to accept and smile through his passing with no type of remorse or regret or, oh, I wish I could have. And I know a lot of people always go through something like that, and I'm glad to say that I never did. I still continued to stream and make content, not necessarily as an escape, but just a way to kind of keep my mind blank for a moment. But I always consistently think about him, but nothing in like a sad point. Just I wonder what he's doing right now. I made sure that I was okay, and always checking in on my family and checking in on my mother, of course. And she has her moments, but thankfully not anymore. She's, after a year, has processed it and has her down times here and there, but not as bad as it was. Shortly after, and I won't get into too much detail with this because I do want to kind of keep that part private, but shortly after, my girlfriend and I unfortunately split. 12-year relationship unfortunately fell apart shortly after, and I do blame myself for the lack of emotion and attention that I was not providing her and the things that she was dealing with mentally. I do blame myself for not being there for my kids as well during possibly a hard time for them, solely kind of just focusing on my mental state. So we did fall apart. So the culmination of both situations, both my father passing and my girlfriend at the time splitting up, it was very difficult to process. So all of it was very hard, having to do Thanksgiving separated, having to do New Year's and Christmas separated. I'm not the type of person to want to have a separate home and do things apart. So those times were very difficult for me as well. I spent a lot of nights crying, thinking about my father and the mother of my kids. And I want to, explain that being vulnerable like this is not, again, my normal, but I want to share with y'all that I'm also human as well and have this emotional side. So I started therapy in late December all the way until about March, and basically rewrote and rewired everything that's in my mind that I once was doing before, because there was a point where I would put content streaming and gaming first because I had this big goal that I wanted to accomplish, and I wasn't looking at my children and my then girlfriend and saying, let me spend time with them instead, or hey, I can edit this video tomorrow. So I revamped myself and unlocked a deeper emotional side to myself during that time of therapy, and completely just changed myself within those 4 months that I was doing it. She also did therapy herself as well, and went through her emotions and what she deals with, not only just current, but in her past, way in her past, all the way from her childhood and her teen years. So during those months, we were separated, and communication was fine. We were talking about the kids, and for me, I was trying my best to get my family back. And thankfully, after we finished therapy, we communicated. Thankfully, we got back together in May of 2025, and I'm glad to say that in July I proposed. So a few months later, because again, 13-year relationship, there was no reason to wait anymore. So proposed back in July at Epic Universe, and from there, from May going forward, we continued to work on our relationship and communicating and doing things well, and things were starting to go back to a good headspace. And I wasn't in the space to be ready to be in front of a camera, because I took the remainder of that year to just focus on my family. I've been given a second chance, given a second opportunity to not only be with my girls and now be with my, at the time, fiance, but spend every moment with them that I could. So I didn't game as much. I was always making sure I was doing some type of fun activity with them and dinner and including them in things and wanting to do new things that they wanted to experience. And I made sure that I just wasn't distracted in any way, shape, or form. I deleted all my social media, and seeing them happy, us all under one roof again after almost 5 and 6 months worth of separation, it brought a new fire and light inside of me. Because at one point there was a time where I contemplated not wanting to be on this earth anymore, with the culmination of losing my family, losing my father, my money and finances being such of an issue, having to move back home and feeling like I'm restarting my life, and not seeing any type of light at the end of the tunnel. There was a point where I just thought maybe I'm better off not here. And once I started questioning that, that's when I decided to go into therapy and talk about these things. Thankfully, because of therapy, I didn't follow through with any of the things that I overthought about. Another thing that I hold very near and dear is I've always believed in God, but I always second-guessed him, in a sense, if that makes sense, of why he wasn't doing this, why there's so much evil in the world, why is there issues that he can handle but doesn't. So I never gave my full faith and love to him. And during the times that I had contemplated suicide, I found him during those times. So I got heavily involved in prayer and thought and writing and journaling, writing down my prayers. And I have a whole prayer book of every time that I did pray and what I talked about in that prayer, and not really asking for anything, just what I talked about with God in moments of silence and solitude. I began to get closer to him, and he was answering things for me in silence that I didn't realize. And I would go back and look at that prayer book and be like, wow, he answered this for me in this form. He did this for me in this form. So I've completely divulged and given my love and existence to Jesus. And I don't second guess him anymore. I don't second guess why he handles things the way he does, because he does them in his own terms, but he'll never leave you astray. So I've gotten heavily involved in scripture and learning the Bible and understanding, his time on this earth and so much more. I've implemented, that same faith within my girls, not as heavily because I want them to learn on their own, but when they do ask and we do watch things about Jesus and they ask questions, it's something that I enjoy talking to them about. Another thing that saved me from what I was going on with in my head was Marvel Rivals. I'm a big Marvel fan, love everything about it, and have been since I was a kid. And when the game dropped, it was such a takeaway, and I had so much enjoyment with the game when it first released that it stopped me from overthinking about the things that I was going to do. I probably would have went through with a lot of stuff that I was thinking about if Marvel Rivals never would have came out and kept me busy for hours and hours on end, because that's how much I wanted to escape from my own mind. So I definitely want to say that a portion of the reason why I didn't go through with a lot of thoughts that were in my head were because of Marvel Rivals, and why I hold that game so near and dear to my heart, and why I'll play that game till the end of time if it continues to go till then. So when it comes to my future and now where I am here currently, as you see the clothes packed up, you see that I'm not in the same room that I'm in my original game room when I was growing up. And it's funny that I'm streaming here because I've always wanted to stream here when I was a kid, but I didn't know how. I didn't have the same resources to be able to learn how to start streaming like I do now. So in July of 2026, my future will no longer be here in Jacksonville. My family and I are moving to Orlando, and we are very excited about it. There's so many opportunities and goals and achievable things out there versus here in Jacksonville. And this is kind of the first time I'm saying it out loud and publicly, but there's nothing for us and our family here in Jacksonville. And I'm going to explain it at a bigger scope. During the times that I wasn't streaming, wasn't gaming, just focusing on the girls and my family, I realized that there's not a lot of things for us to do here to be able to enjoy. You can only go to a park so many times and go to a food spot so many times. I want to spend more time with my family outside, not in front of a screen, not in front of, a gaming console. I want to be able to do things that involve them getting outside and enjoying nature or just crowds, and just to be outside and not just sit and do nothing. And a lot of our time was spent inside looking for something to do, and Orlando gives us that opportunity to enjoy our time as a family outdoors. Let's say, for example, at City Walk, going mini golfing or playing laser tag, or just enjoying a DJ that might be on stage, or going to the theme parks and walking around the theme park for hours and riding rides all together. Going to Disney. There's always a new type of event and festivity going on in Orlando every weekend, instead of here in Jacksonville where it's almost once a month. There's always some type of kid event that's going on. There's hundreds and hundreds of arcades and things for families to enjoy at a large abundance versus here in Jacksonville. And I want to be able to spend time with my kids doing that. It doesn't have to be every day, it doesn't have to be every weekend, but to know that we have so many options to go and enjoy and not just sit inside on certain weekends. Imagine I'm like, hey, let's go to Volcano Bay at 4:30 in the afternoon on a Tuesday and stay until close, until 9 o'clock. Or hey, let's go to Disney their last hour and go watch the fireworks and go get ice cream at one of their parlors and then ride Tiana's Bayou Adventure and then go home. And again, I want to reiterate, it's not about the parks, it's about being able to go outside and do things that don't involve a screen or just sitting in our bed rotting and not doing anything. When it comes to just me as an individual, there's so many opportunities when it comes to both photography and Shinigami that I want to be able to accomplish at a larger scale, which I feel like Orlando is the best market to do it. When it comes to photography, you have, all the sports teams. The only thing they don't have is NFL. You have the theme parks as well, where they're always looking for freelance photographers to maybe do events or do other things. I have a lot of different high schools where I can do photography as well, because a lot of y'all may know that I do photos for high schools heavily. I could do photos for colleges, both in Orlando and in Tampa. And also when it comes to Shinigami, I feel like the clothing market and apparel is big there, bigger than it is here in Jacksonville. And then when it comes to my wife, she's heavily involved in the medical field. There's so much more medical opportunities out there, and she plans on working from home. She's actually currently in school trying to finalize her medical program that she's in right now to be able to work from home so she can spend more time with our youngest daughter. But if she has to go and work at a physical location, there's more out there for her than just what we have currently. I have so many things that, again, I want to accomplish, so many goals that I want to achieve, so many things written on this whiteboard, but I want to achieve them while being balanced with my family and having that time with them. I can definitely say that I'm in a better space, way better space, 10 times better space, both physically, spiritually, mentally, than I was in December of 2024. And even before then, before all this happened, before my father passed, I feel lighter, I feel more available, I feel more open and in tune with my emotions and my spiritual self. And again, the guidance and that hand on my shoulder feeling of knowing that I have the Lord with me at every moment. I'm glad I was able to share this different side of me and this maturity, I guess you could say, with you guys. And I hope and pray that you guys continue with me. Whether you're watching this video for the first time now or you're watching in the future, I love being on camera. I love streaming. I love being able to share with you guys my moments in gaming and so much more. And I hope to accomplish so much more. But I want to make sure that I have the right balance moving forward with both my family and YouTube and streaming all at the same time. Because again, I've wanted to do this since I was a kid, but now I have to balance both. This will hopefully be the only serious video that I have where I have to speak like this. I'm hoping that everything else in the future is what you guys are used to on camera. Again, I appreciate everybody for watching. And again, you could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with your boy today. And for that, I appreciate you.